What's up, everybody? It is Catherine here. It is a new week, meaning a new video, because I'm trying to at least, if anything, do one video per week. For this video, I want to actually dive into the realm of reviews again. This one particularly being a book review called Hoodoo, Voodoo, Rootwork, Conjure, and Folk Magic by Mariesa. I want to say Faer. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. And I want to just start out by commending the author for using a skull and roses on this one. I don't see a lot of books on witchcraft and the occult actually use skulls, and I just wanted to point that out. Roses and skulls are two of my favorite things, so I do commend her for using those in combination and using them in a very tasteful way too. Alright, so there's a lot of things that are covered within this book. And the biggest thing, I have two things that I do not like about this book, so let's start with those. First off, there are some topics in this book that are discussed, but not discussed at great enough lengths to fully understand the picture. So I do think some topics could have been discussed more, and there were also some topics that were discussed so much, but really it could have been just a couple of paragraphs about it. And, it was really drawn out and long-winded. So I really think, those could have been flipped and it would have made for a better book. The other thing is just me being nitpicky, a few grammar and spelling errors. But that's just me. That's the grammar and spelling Nazi in me. Like I said, just me being nitpicky. So what did I really like about this book? Other than the cover, I really did appreciate the topic being talked about, voodoo and hoodoo, as I don't think anybody can learn enough these days. I do like it as it is. It didn't take me long to read. I'm trying here. Yeah, it didn't take me too long to read. I think it took me maybe a total of 3 hours to read, so it wasn't too long of a book, but it was enough to kind of get your feet wet and to kind of get some basic generalized knowledge in there. All right. She does, and I don't know particularly what form of voodoo or hoodoo she's teaching in this book, because she never comes out and says what she's going to be teaching. But she does primarily talk and give formulas and how-tos within one specific way of voodoo and hoodoo. All right, so do keep that in mind. But other than that, it's consistent throughout. She starts with one and she sticks with it throughout the whole book. I've read a couple of books where they start one tradition, go completely into another tradition, and then do another tradition, and it don't work that way for me. It's not good organization. All right, but this book was organized really well. It picked one tradition, it stayed with it throughout all of its examples and teachings. For the most part, it does start out as being broad spectrum understanding of hoodoo and voodoo. Talks a little bit about different traditions, about voodoo queens, voodoo kings, the Loa, and then when it gives you the formula in here for, hold on one second, let me find it here. When it gives you the recipe for anything, like for charms, for spells, for rituals, for voodoo dolls, any of that, it seems like it's one specific tradition is where it's coming from. But that's just me. This book was copyrighted in 2017 under Skinny Bottle Publishing. Anybody heard of that? Let me know in the comments below. I've never heard of the publishing company. I seen it. It was a relatively cheap book on Amazon. Bought it for Kindle, so obviously it's going to be cheap. I thought I'd give it a shot. I think it was $2.99 or something. So I wasn't really expecting it to be a massively full coverage, full spectrum book, but more like a primer type of material. So, all in all, it's a very, very well thought out book. Again, some topics could have been covered less, while some could have been covered more. But I think all in all, for the price point that I paid $2.99. I don't know what it is now. I'll post a link in the description of this video to that particular book for you guys as well. But all in all, good book. I definitely would recommend to anybody who is just starting to learn and understand hoodoo, voodoo, root work, conjure, and folk magic of the, I want to say, the African people. You can correct me or bash me if that's, if you would consider that racist or not, but that's what I've learned. My tradition of hoodoo and voodoo that I employ comes from the African people. So, anyway, with that being said, guys, thank you all for watching, and until next time, namaste.